and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you overcome perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon, and I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today, we're talking about making our lives easier by clearing our closets.
Hey, Shannon, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good too.
This is kind of a fun topic to talk about.
Oh yeah, I talk about clothing closets with people all the time, and I love talking about mine. And I love talking about yours too. So yes, this is a fun topic.
I know. In fact, we were just chit-chatting as we were getting things set up before we started recording, and we realized that we needed to stop chatting and start recording.
Right, 'cause that's how, yeah, well, that's actually, we like that almost every week, aren't we?
It's true.
Yeah, because this really is just a chat. But it's a great topic, because I think, everybody has clothes, and most people have more clothes than they wear,
Yes.
people in the United States anyway, and most of us would benefit from making our lives easier by clearing our closets.
Yes. And I think, I rarely meet anyone who doesn't have a little bit of struggle with their clothes in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's fit or style or, just not feeling comfortable or, that they can't find what they want, whatever. And the easier we can make that stuff, the better it is.
Absolutely. So do you feel like you've made progress in your life in making those things easier?
I definitely have made progress, but I noticed that, like many things, I'll make a lot of progress and I'll feel really good about it, and then I'll sort of slack off, and that progress will slowly get eroded until I'm never quite back to where I started, but I'm, in a worse situation than where I wanted to be. And that's where my closet had gotten recently.
Yeah, back to what, sort of crowded and not full of things you love?
Well, yeah, it wasn't so much felt like it wasn't full of things I loved, but I felt like it was overwhelming. I had cleared a bunch of stuff out, which made a lot of space, and then, it's like nature abhors a vacuum, and all of a sudden that space was filled. Mm-hmm. And, it was hard to hang things up and put things in drawers, and then when it's not easy to put things away, then things don't get put away, and, then you don't want to go in your closet anymore. Yeah.
I know with my organizing clients, if there's a laundry problem, like if there's a laundry backup, it's almost always because the drawers and closets are too full. And because it's become too hard to put away things. And of course, a laundry backup leads to buying more stuff, because it's easier to buy more underwear than to get it done and put away. And it all just spirals out of control. But you're so right that when these spaces get crowded, it really has a big effect on just quality of life, really. Mm-hmm. And then if you've got clothes lying around, you don't feel good, and they don't, you're not taking care of the clothes. And so for me, like, clearing out a closet is so beneficial. And with clients who are willing to let go of stuff and just haven't, that's just such a joy, because we can make such a big difference in a relatively short period of time. And then, the clothes go to a resale shop, a charity shop, and other people get to benefit from it. So it's just a win-win.
I've benefited from those resale shops.
Yes, me
in St.
too.
Louis.
In St. Louis, right? I know, we've got some good resale shops.
I know. I've made, I think once a year I come visit you, and we do some serious shopping, and I always find the best things.
Yeah, it's true. And then if you have just those best things in your closet rather than, everything else. Or if you come home from that shopping and take out some stuff that aren't as meaningful anymore, then, then you get to keep stasis going in your closet.
Right. Well, and that makes me realize what part of the problem was, is I created this space and I had been on a very strict, like, one thing in, one thing out. So like before I bought something, I had to decide that I liked it enough that I wanted to get rid of something else. But because I had more space, I didn't feel that way. And then it, things like filled it up. So, I realized that is crucial for me moving forward to keep my closet in the state that I like it.
Right, because it doesn't have to be crammed full in order for you to have that in and out, one in, one out policy.
Right.
I just cleaned out my closet this weekend, and it wasn't full, but it had stuff that was out of season in there. I just hadn't been maintaining it, and when I let go of, or I didn't let go actually, I just mostly moved stuff that it was out of season out of the closet and I keep them in bins in the basement, and I just had the stuff that I currently want to wear. It's been just 2 days, and I actually am wearing the same thing today that I wore yesterday, so it's really only one day of dressing, but it just feels so good to be able to reach in and easily pull out the thing and find and pull out the thing that I want. It's just so
that's
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm lucky because I embraced this minimalist thing, clothing challenge 2 years ago, although it feels so much longer ago than that. It's 2.5 years ago. Project 333, which is we'll put a link to it in the show notes. But as you know, it's an experiment or a challenge that Courtney Carver of BeMoreWithLess.com put forth a number of years ago, where you keep just 33 articles of clothing in rotation for 3 months, and then you switch it out every quarter or 3 months, whatever you like to call it, Shannon. Every 90 days, you switch out your closet.
Yes.
If that feels good.
Yeah. And I was like, where were we going with this? Oh, right.
Yeah. Right. And then you get either a whole new set of stuff that you can get from the basement or wherever you put away your old clothes in the next 3-month period. And it was hugely liberating. I blogged a lot about it, but I loved and still love having so few clothes in my closet that I don't have to make a decision about what to wear because I don't have any choices. And that might be peculiar to me. But I also love that I could wash everything I owned in one load. I mean, it really cut down on my laundry.
Right.
So I'm not really doing that now. I wasn't counting. I counted, but I wasn't trying to get down to 33 when I cleaned out my closet this time. But I got it down to, well, I guess 40. 40. So, and that was without trying. So it's,
wow.
And that feels fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, and the thing that was super helpful for me, because I did that when I think maybe the second time you did it or something, or maybe shortly after you did it the first time. It seemed so liberating. And the thing that was really helpful for me was the idea of not having to get rid of stuff, but just putting it away. And I reread some of her stuff this morning, actually, and she had some great ideas, like, putting things in a box and taping it up and labeling it. And then if, depending on what you put in there, like you could put things that are suitable for the current season, but that you're just not wearing. And then next year in that season, if you don't want them, then they go straight to the, to the charity shop. Or, if you have things that you're not sure about, you can sort of do different things to help you get rid of that, like sort of eases them out the door if you aren't sure. And having that ability to sort of have some maybes that weren't cluttering up the closet was really helpful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that definitely made it easier for me. And I realize now what I didn't do this weekend was go through. I have 4 bins in the basement, one for shoes and accessories, which I think I literally haven't opened since July of 2016 when I've made it. And
I think I remember being in your basement and you saying, "I've never opened that."
Yeah, so it might be time to let go of that. And then 3 other bins, and I put things in the bins Saturday, but I took a couple things out and brought them upstairs. But I didn't go through to try to declutter those bins, mostly because I was tired of doing it, and also they weren't causing any harm. I mean, I'm still going to have 4 bins. Unless I get rid of that one with the shoes and accessories, which I probably could easily do. But yeah, it's an easy way to experiment with living with fewer clothes. It doesn't feel like high stakes where you're literally giving away almost everything you own. It makes a huge difference.
Right.
And in fact, I do switch it out. Although I found that second quarter, I was shocked that when I went through my clothes, I should have looked up the blog post. So these data are approximate. But I had 33 articles of clothing, and I wore 22 of them. So there were 11 I hadn't worn. And I retained, I think it was 11 for the next quarter.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really like wearing the same thing all the time.
Yeah. Well, there's a pleasure to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you if you feel good in it, and it's comfortable and it fits, it looks good. What's not to love?
Well, and it's so nice to be like, well, I can, put on this or I can put on that. Not like, oh my God, what am I going to wear?
Mm-hmm. And nobody notices that you're wearing the same thing over and over.
Yeah, they really don't.
I mean, in my life, I don't see this. You typically don't see the same clients more than a day in 2 days in a row, which is different from going to an office. But Courtney Carver, I heard her speak, which is what got me going on this. And she worked in an office when she started this, and she said nobody noticed that she was wearing the same thing every day. She had one. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think she also said that the first time she did it, in that 3-month period, she had temperatures that ranged from 95 degrees to 15 degrees.
Oh, she lives in Utah, so.
Yeah.
Perhaps so, yeah. Yeah, that's hard.
So, but yeah, and she was saying, she didn't have a problem being cool enough or warm enough.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what layers are all about, right?
Yeah.
And when she was doing her tour, she brought all 33 articles of clothing and hung them on, she had a garment rack, and they were hanging there for you to see while she was talking.
Oh my gosh.
And she went through them. And you saw how she would, she created different outfits from the different pieces.
That's so, yeah, I love that. It reminds me, I had a tenant once, and I had to do something. I don't remember what was going on, but I was in a room, and her closet door was open, and it looked like a elite boutique. Like the clothes hanging in the closet were all on these beautiful padded hangers, and there was like an inch of space in between each item. So, they were all lined up, and everything was, pressed and clean. It looked like a rack in a boutique. And, everything was ready to go, and it was all beautiful, and you could see how the different pieces went together. And she was a professional. I think she worked in the pharmaceutical industry or something. So I remember always being amazed by that.
Well, right. And a big part of the creating that image of it being in an elite boutique was that there weren't that many clothes, right? Nothing was crammed together, like you said, and big hangers, an inch between them. Yeah, and when you see ads for closets, like closet company ads, they always have literally 5 dresses hanging on a 2-foot rod. Yeah.
And then they talk about how much you can hang in there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So for someone like me who likes to follow rules and who likes few choices, something like Project 33 was perfect because it gave me that structure and something to, a goal to achieve and everything. But I've told many clients about it, and they always look at me like I'm insane. And but regardless of how you get there, I truly believe, and I've seen this in my clients as well, getting out of your closet, removing from your closet those things that don't fit, or those things that you keeping because they were expensive, and even though you don't wear them because you don't feel good in them, or the stuff that's ripped or stained, or you think you're going to get fixed one of these days, getting that stuff out of your closet is so helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes such a difference. And, it's funny because while I find Project 333 appealing, and I did like it when I did it, it didn't feel like something that I could continue to do. It felt way too restrictive to me. Mm-hmm. And I've tried a lot of different things I think like after that, then I was basically wearing just a uniform of, I'd put on a pair of jeans and then I'd pick what t-shirt I was going to put on. And if it was cold, then I would put on a hoodie. And
or a cardigan.
That's pretty much.
You wear cardigans too?
Well, now I have a lot of cardigans, but then I just had just pretty much hoodies, or other like zip up sweatshirts. I have, because we live in Portland, where Icebreaker, the merino wool athletic wear company, is, and they have warehouse sales. They don't do it anymore, but they have historically had warehouse sales every year where you could get things for like 70% off because it's outrageously expensive stuff. I have a ton of those, like just, zip up, like wool sort of athleisure clothes.
Right. And you live in Portland where the uniform is jeans, a t-shirt, and a hoodie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
Everyone's uniform is that. You had particularly nice hoodies.
Yeah.
But,
but that's what I would do. And then, but that felt boring, but it felt easy. Mm-hmm. And then I had a friend who did something called Stasia's Style School, which was an online course with a woman who is a personal stylist. At least that's how she got started, and now I think she's mostly just doing teaching. Especially, she did a TED Talk a couple of months ago, and
it was so great.
Oh my God, I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it.
I know. It was one of my favorite TED Talks ever. I will put a link to it in the show notes.
It's so good. But yeah, Stasia's amazing, and one of the things that I realized in doing the course with her is that, the uniform, while there were parts of that sort of reflected me, it mostly didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. And I was just doing it because it was easy. And so going through that whole thing with her and sort of learning about, she talks a lot about inside out congruency and either wearing clothes that reflect how you feel or how you want to feel, or that, help you feel how you want to feel, that's the most important thing. And so that then helped me sort of curate my closet in a different way. And then that's when I did a huge closet clear out with her. And then that's when things started to go right, because I had all this new things that I was wearing. I started wearing a lot of dresses in the winter with leggings and boots and with a cardigan and more creative layering. And I, I have all my graphic tees that I would wear, but I would wear them differently than how I had been, so it broadened my wardrobe, but then that meant that I wanted more clothes. And then I found myself in the place where, like, it's too much again.
Ah, well, there you go. And so I was thinking when you were describing that earlier, when we were recording at the beginning, I thought, gosh, why did you acquire so much that this happened? But now I understand. So when you were cleaning out your closet this weekend, what happened? Or today, or whenever it was?
It was today, yeah. So I did it today in preparation for this. And, what I discovered first off was there were, like you discovered, there were a lot of things that were just out of season. So first thing I did was get those things out. And actually what I did was I sort of went by groups of, like, I took all my pants out of the closet, and then I kept just the ones that I love. I made a couple of stacks, and did, the things I love, maybes and off season, and then ones to get rid of. And then I just put the ones that I love back in the closet. And then I sort of did that with each, with the hanging tops, and then with my sweater drawer and my t-shirt drawer. I actually had 2 t-shirt drawers, and I consolidated down to 1 t-shirt drawer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which was, like, really pretty painless.
Great.
And so already I feel better. Like, when I look in there, it's just like, I love all of these pants that are hanging here, and there aren't any pants that I'm feeling guilty about, because I feel like I should wear them, but I'm not. Which is such a weird thing, to let inanimate objects make you feel that way.
Oh, yeah. They do, though.
It happens.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel good about it. I still need to spend some time with my dresses, because there are definitely summer dresses that I won't wear, but there are summer dresses I do wear, that I layer and stuff, and that I really enjoy wearing in the winter. So I want to go through those, and then I need to pack everything up and put it in the basement or take it to Goodwill.
Right, because you divided what you want to keep and what you in the basement and what you want to donate. Yeah, I have some donations I have to do too. That's terrific. Yeah, and it feels good, right?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Yeah,
it feels really good, and I'm looking forward to it being easier to get dressed again.
Right, because yeah, I mean that's everything to me. I'm all about ease, right? So sometimes when I'm getting dressed, there's a person sleeping in the room, because I'm an early bird and my husband is not. And so I have to try to do it quietly and with minimal light. And if my closet were crammed full, it would be impossible. But as it is, it's pretty easy, which is really nice.
Yeah. Well, and the irony of having a too full closet and not being able to decide what to wear is I just wore the same things over and over again.
Right.
Like, I just kept putting on the same t-shirt because it was just easier than trying to pick another one. Which is so weird, but there you have it.
Oh, and that's what I hear from people all the time. I always wear the same thing anyway. And I'm like, well, then get the other stuff out. But what I think I'm hearing you say is when you pare down your closet to the essentials that you love, you actually wear more variety of things because you can more easily access them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is that's counterintuitive. Or, it's counterintuitive that I feel more abundant when I have a lot less stuff in my closet. Same kind of thing, right? Because I can see it all. There's space between the the articles of clothing. I can easily pull it, find what I want. And, it's so nice. Do you arrange your clothes by color or anything like that?
Yes.
So do I.
Well, I'm just laughing because Mike, my husband, looked in my t-shirt drawer and he said, there's a pathology for that.
Oh. Nothing wrong with making your stuff pretty. And I find it's easier to find what I'm looking for when it's arranged by color.
Yeah, definitely. And I like how it looks. I just like opening my drawer and seeing it arranged by color. Although it does make me realize how much I favor blue and green and teal.
You sure
Mostly
do.
blue.
And in my closet, if I took pictures. If we want, we can post pictures. But I have very little color. It's all grays, and it's a lot of charcoal and black. This year. Yeah. One orange thing in there and one green thing, and that's about it. But it's
because in past years you've had more color.
I have, yeah. And when I have more color, I remember well before Project 333 when my friend Geraldine Thomas, who is an organizer in North Carolina who also does wardrobe consulting, she helped me clear out my closet. I had a lot more clothes back then. And then she convinced me to organize them by color, and I really resisted it. I was like, that's hyper organized. I can't maintain that. I was an organizer, right? And but she said, Janine, trust me, just try it. And she was so right, because it made it so much easier for me to find and put away. I thought it would be hard to put things away in the right place, but it wasn't at all. And in fact, usually what I do is leave the hanger on where it's supposed to be. Take it off the hanger, leave the hanger there, and then I just had to look for the empty hanger. But nowadays I don't have enough clothes or color for it to really make much difference. But yeah, it's if you've ever toyed with trying that, I heartily recommend it. And we do it for clients typically. Well, I'll ask a client if they want that, and they usually do, and they always love it. It's so pretty and nice. I've not done it with my T-shirts though. I don't have that many T-shirts, but yeah. And so you must. I don't know how nitty gritty we want to get, but I'm guessing that you fold your T-shirts small and then file them, so to speak, and have them stand up in the drawers.
So they stand up straight. Yeah.
So then you can see all those pretty colors.
Right, and because most of them are graphic tees, I can see which design is on it, because it's possible I have more than one shirt in the same color. It's possible. Hard to know what's on those shirts if I don't have the design facing up.
Exactly, and if you stack them, then you have to. It's a whole fishing expedition. So
which is what I always used to do, and which was a pain. And so this is one thing I have to think. What's her name?
Marie Kondo.
Yes.
Really, Shannon? I was doing that well before Marie Kondo came along. You never
told me about it.
No, we never looked in the drawers, I guess. Well, I didn't invent it or anything.
No, I know, but it might have been before I was storing teas that way.
Right.
I mean, like in the drawers that I have. Like I wasn't putting them in drawers. I used to have them on shelves.
Ah, right.
Do you remember them being on shelves? So I didn't have the place to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Right, because it was well before you moved into your house where you live now, that I've been doing this. But an organizer suggested it to me years ago when we were working with a client, and ever since I'm like, yeah, that's the way to do it. And then Marie came along, and everyone thinks she invented it.
Well, I will never say that again.
Well, no, if you learned it from her, she deserves the credit. But it really is.
I'm just sad I didn't learn it from you.
Yeah,
I guess I've
too.
never seen in your drawers, perhaps.
Perhaps, yeah. I think that could be true. I don't, I just have leggings and turtlenecks in the drawer. Not turtlenecks, T-shirts, but I don't have that many. So actually, I can't even properly use that method in my T-shirt drawer now because they just flop over because I don't have enough.
Right.
But it still works. I can still see them. So.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention, because you used Stasia's Style School, you said she was offering it, and she still is offering it. So we'll be sure and put a link in the show notes for that, because it might be something, I know you benefited a lot from it, and it might be something that folks are interested in.
Yeah. Oh, and that just reminds me that one other thing that she taught me that I love is when she gets something new, she has a particular space in her closet that is the audition space. And so when she gets something new, she puts it in the audition space. And if she doesn't wear it right away, then she takes it back or, donates it or whatever.
Wow. That's a great idea.
Isn't that fantastic?
I love that she calls it the audition space.
Yeah. And so sometimes I'll do that with some of my maybes is like, I love this, but I have not worn it in I don't know how long. Mm-hmm. So I'll put it in the audition space, and if I don't wear it, then, and that may prompt me to be like, oh, I have to get rid of this if I don't wear it, so I'll wear it. And then I can decide, like, do I like wearing this or not?
Right. Yeah, that's fantastic. Because I know I will sometimes find clothes in my closet that I forgot I bought, and obviously didn't thrill me enough to remember it.
Right.
And, then it usually gets donated. Though I have to tell you that last time I went to the resale shop was with my brother and niece. A couple weeks ago, I bought a garment that I am so in love with, and I brought it home and I showed it to my husband and said, do you like this? It's like a tunic. And he said, sure. He doesn't care what I wear. And I said, well, good, because you're going to be seeing it a lot. And I think I've worn it. I bought it on November 20th. And I think 21st, actually. I think I've worn it at least 10 times. And it's,
oh my God,
it's December 17th. So it's like I wear it a lot. I love it. So yay.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So it made the cut. I mean, I was wearing it the next day. I wore it that day. I really like it.
But, going to those shops, you find those kinds of things there.
Right, which if I went to a department store, I would never have found that, probably.
Yeah.
And in fact, I only found this because it was on display. I'm not a good shopper.
But I'm having a little bit of envy over wearing the same things over and over again, which feels a little weird.
Well, and the key, right, is that it's not like I'm wearing a uniform. I'm just wearing things that I love. It's that, right. And there's that tunic that you and I bought together at the resale shop last time you were in town with that from Athleta. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
That you made me try on? Those are the two things. I wear one or the other.
I love that.
I know. It's really happy making.
Well, that makes me want to, do a little bit more editing in my closet after we're done here.
Okay. I was hoping that you were going to say that makes you want to come visit St. Louis. I guess you want to.
But then I would have to get rid of even more stuff, so I could get new stuff.
Well, yeah. So clean out your closet more so that you can come to St. Louis.
Yeah.
Like St. Louis is the shopping mecca of
it's
the world.
So weird, but it has been on more than one occasion that I had to get a new suitcase to come home.
It is really crazy. Maybe I'm just your shopping good luck.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's totally possible.
My niece went to the resale shop, on November 21st and bought 2 things. I mean, she tried on lots of things and she bought 2 things.
Right.
I'm like, oh
my gosh.
Yeah.
You can do better than that.
She spent $10. Yeah, but she was also traveling with stuff, 9 months worth of clothes in 2 backpacks. So she's.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's a minimalist.
Yeah. Well, but that's a good point, though. Traveling has been super helpful for me in having a more minimalist wardrobe. Because, when you go somewhere for a couple of weeks, and I've traveled on long vacations for, 2 to 3 weeks with a carry-on bag.
Right. And if you
it's
can do that,
nice.
Yeah. Right. It's the same thing, isn't it? You don't have any choices. And you could think of your closet as a carry-on bag if you wanted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how appealing that is, but and when I went to Walla Walla recently, I took too much. And I was really mad at myself. I mean, I all fit in a carry-on bag, but I was still mad that I had as many choices to make and there were several items I didn't wear. And so I love
Do you ever make notes afterwards?
I usually make a list before, but I rarely make notes afterward. That's a good idea.
Yeah. It was just sort of interesting. I'd be curious to know if you tend to bring and not wear the same sorts of things.
Yeah, I wish we'd had this conversation 2 weeks ago when I got home, because I don't remember what it was I brought that I didn't wear. Yeah, I do know that I was pretty much wearing those 2 garments I just mentioned, plus either that or exercise clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I need.
Right. Yeah. Well, should we talk before we go just about a few more tips and techniques that people can use to help them edit their closets?
Sure. I think in the past, we talked a little bit about your method, which I love, and I think you should talk about it again because it's so appropriate for this topic. We can put a link in the show notes to that episode where we talked about, I can't even remember what episode it was, but yeah. So
I can't remember, but yeah.
The method you invented.
Yes, my closet clearing invention
Patented
method.
Uh-huh.
Patented.
Right.
So you clear a space in your closet, and that's your keep area. And then you pick 3 things that you definitely love and they fit and they're in good condition. They don't need to be fixed or anything. Pick 3 things you love and want to keep. They go there. And then you pick 3 things that you want to get rid of. Mm-hmm. And then you take those out of your closet.
I'm sorry, I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but you said you clear a space in the closet, and so you're then putting the 3 things that you're keeping in that space that you cleared?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So you're just moving them to that space. So mm-hmm. those are things you keep, and then you take 3 things out. Mm-hmm. And you keep doing that until it's no longer easy. There's not obvious choices. Mm-hmm. And then you take a break. And it could be a 5-minute break. It could be a day break. It could be, a month or whatever. But just, you need to take a break where you go away from it, because when you come back, there will be obvious choices again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you leave the stuff that you haven't decided on separate from the things that you've already decided on. You don't go mm-hmm. through those things again. But the other two, well, one key is that do it in your underwear.
Oh, that's a great idea. So you can try clothes on easily.
So you try things on and you don't have to take something off, try it on, take it off, put your clothes back on. Do it in your underwear so you can just pull things on and off mm-hmm. very easily and make decisions very quickly.
I don't think I've ever heard that advice before.
You don't? I think it's... Really?
I don't know. I can't picture having heard that before. So I think it's a great idea. Personally, I'd probably wear like a bathrobe. I don't know. But I'd wear a bathrobe, but I'd have under foundation garments on.
That sounds like you'd have on a girdle.
Girdle, right? A great big bra.
Those big, like, grandma bras.
Right, yeah. But that's so great. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, because you want to make it easy to make those decisions and not say, oh, I'll try that on later.
Yeah.
I'll keep it now I'll try it on later. Yes. Okay. Yep. So that was one of the keys.
Yeah. Whoops. And I can't remember what the other one was. I think that might be it. I think it might just be to do it in your underwear. Mm-hmm. And, and to do it while stop doing it when it's not easy.
Mm-hmm. And then when it comes back, you come back to it, it gets easier. Do you ever then do a second pass of the keepers if you haven't gotten it down small enough? It
depends on how long it's been. Mm-hmm. And what your goal is. If this mm-hmm. is if you do this on a regular basis, if you do this say every month, because you're not doing something like Project 333 or something like that, but if you just do this on a monthly basis, then and you just sort of pick 3 things you want to keep and 3 things you want to get rid of until it's not easy anymore, and you just do that every month, then odds are you're probably going to have a pretty manageable closet.
I would think if you did it every month that it would be really hard to find 3 things to get rid of multiple times.
And maybe it's only once.
Oh, okay. Oh, because then you stop.
But, you know, I mean,
Okay.
then you just stop.
Because it's not easy, right? Okay.
Right. But, you know, if you have a really jam-packed closet, and you want to get through it to get it down to a certain size, then, you know, you probably want to do multiple sessions pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Right.
To get all the way through it. But if you have a pretty manageable closet that you tend to accumulate things in, or you want to make it really easy on yourself and just do it over time to edit your wardrobe, you know, gradually over time, then, you know, do it once a week or once a month, and just to keep on top of it.
Right. And another thing I'd add is if you see that you have a garment in your closet that you're not wearing and you think to yourself, oh, I could probably donate that. Just do it. Don't wait until it's closet clearing time. Just go ahead and pull it out and keep a bag or a box or a bin nearby, maybe on the floor of your closet, to put those items in so that you are actually acting on it. And if you weed that way, it seems like you'd have less need to have sessions like I had this weekend. Although my session just took 30 minutes. But
oh my gosh. That's impressive.
Oh, well, there wasn't that much. I went from 70 things to 40 things. So there weren't that many things. And that includes scarves and ponchos and stuff. I have a poncho, you know. Yeah. I'm a fan of the poncho. So yeah, that's great. I love that technique, Shannon. And when we work with clients on their closets, we typically if I know we're working on a closet, I bring along a rolling garment rack, and then we pull out a section of a closet by type of clothing, like all the dresses, and have the client go through those that way. So they're just seeing some at a time, but it's not inside the closet. And
that seems like it would be really helpful.
Yeah, I think it is. And then we, get their donations put in a donation area immediately and leave on the rack the things that they're keeping typically until we've gotten through all of it. I mean, depends. If they have a big closet, lots of stuff, sometimes stuff goes back in. And then we organize it after that.
Right.
But yeah, getting the stuff out of the closet, I think, can be helpful, though it can be really hard. I think it can be really challenging for an individual to take everything out and put it on the bed. That gets overwhelming too. So doing it by section, I think, is helpful.
Yeah, and that's what I did this morning, doing it by section. But yeah, all of it at once seems like way too much, especially since I didn't have that much time this morning. But
yeah, Marie Kondo does suggest gathering up all your clothes from everywhere in the house and putting them in one big pile and going through them. And I did that once. I blogged about it as an experiment. And I have a lot of closets, so I was bringing in stuff I hadn't looked at in a long time. And that part of it was really helpful. And I only have that much, so I was able to do it all in one session. But I have had at least one client, I think 2 now, who called me in after trying that and getting so bogged down that they couldn't continue. So all their clothes were in the middle of a room.
Right. It's like,
Yeah, so I think for people with a whole lot of clothes, that's not a practical thing. But it is, I think, a good idea to think about those adjunct closets if you have them. If you have the closet where you store your evening wear, for example. I mean, I have that. It's the guest room closet. I realized I have a dress in there from 2001, which I'm sure I couldn't fit in. And I was going to offer it to my niece, which is why I didn't throw it away when I discovered it or donate it, but I forgot, so I forgot to donate it.
Yeah. And that reminds me, I have a coat closet in the entryway that I need to declutter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good time of year for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and an excellent time. Well, I think, the thing that we haven't mentioned directly, even though we've sort of alluded to it, is why this really matters.
Ah, yes. Why it's important to, what is it? Are you saying why it's important to have fewer clothes, or why it's important to make it more easy to dress?
Yeah, all of it. Like, why would this be something that someone would want to do? And
it makes life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we've been talking about is it's easier to get dressed, which takes less time, and also you use less of your executive decision-making powers.
Right.
First thing in the morning before you even start work, or
That's
whatever,
right.
Start your day.
Right, you can leave those powers for something more important.
Yes.
But the other thing we haven't really mentioned is perfectionism and how it fits into the picture.
Yeah, and I realized when I was sort of thinking through my history with clothes that perfectionism was part of the problem, because I kept trying to find the perfect system for me. Mm-hmm. And I think what I've discovered is that there isn't a perfect system other than the one that I maintain and feels right to me.
Mm-hmm. Right, and I can imagine that people who have less than perfect closets, like the physical closet isn't, it's just a rod in a shelf or whatever, and they dream of having a done closet by a closet company.
Yeah.
Think, oh, I'm not even going to bother dealing with my clothes until that happens. Well, you can definitely still benefit from having fewer clothes, even if you have a very simple closet system.
Yeah, yeah, and another thing that Stasia really opened my eyes about was when we did the closet clearing section of her course. She talked about like walking into your closet, or opening up your closet, or looking at your clothes, or however you have things stored, and everything in there you love. Mm-hmm. And like, what would it be like to go to get dressed and everything you see is something that you would love to wear? And that was just really eye-opening for me.
That's a wonderful criterion for keeping or letting something go. It's like walking into like your favorite store ever. Or, except you own it all.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a couple of things to keep in mind, like why you would want to do this. Do you want to make your mornings easier? Do you want to have less overwhelm and options? Do you want to feel better about yourself once you're dressed? Do you want to make laundry easier? Yeah. Yeah, so like getting in touch with why you want to do this will help you edit your closet in such a way that you can meet that need. You can fulfill your why. Right.
Yeah, well, it turns out we had a lot to say about this, huh?
I guess so.
I feel like we could just keep talking, but probably we should stop.
I think now's a good time to stop.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we have a number of links that we'll put on the show notes, so be sure and check those out at gettingtogoodenough.com. And you can also share with us your experiences with editing your closet and how you manage the choices and your wardrobe. We would love to hear that on the show notes, or you can leave us a voicemail at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. And also on our website, gettingtogoodenough.com, you'll find links to all of our social media profiles. We're on Instagram at gettingtogoodenough. We're on Twitter at GTGEnough. And on Facebook, we have both a group and a page, Getting to Good Enough. So for now, I'm Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And I'm Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. It does seem like we could have talked about that for forever.
Yeah, it was probably a good thing that you had a doctor's appointment and we had to stop.
Yeah.